What it do, what it do, what it do. Welcome. It is I, Eden the Hero. Welcome. This is Humble Good Times. It is a new day. I'm feeling amazing. I can't complain at all. I'm just so overjoyed to share some really good news and just being able to feel uplifted after serving today at church. It's been such a blessing, and I just feel good overall. I've been feeling good all week, I would say. It's been a good week, and let's start off with my weekly recap. And trying a different angle of my camera instead of the side view. I'm doing just up and down, vertical. Hopefully this comes out a lot better during editing, so wish me luck. So my weekly recap. I was very busy this week with interviews. I told y'all about Monday's interview that I had, and then I had one on Tuesday as well that I had set up with this major corporation. That was a virtual interview. The first one on Monday, it went great. It's a good, pretty decent company. It's a distribution center, I believe. It was more of a distribution center. They were breaking down products. They distribute it to different companies like Walmart, Best Buy, Staples, to electronics parts. The interview went really well. I'll be honest, it was an ego booster for me. I felt good when someone looked at my resume and was blown away by all my experience and everything and how well I would fit there. I would have done well there, but there was some red flags for me that I felt were just I couldn't commit to. If it was the only offer that was given to me, I would have took it because I had no choice this week. I had to make a decision one way or another to start working because I'm literally at the end of my unemployment this coming week where my last payment will be made. So interview went great, felt good afterwards. When I was leaving, I ended up getting a call from another staffing firm that was looking for someone for another it was a manufacturing plant. And so I listened to their what they had to offer too, because I just want to be open. I don't want to turn nothing down that has opportunities for growth. So I ended up meeting with them in person on Tuesday after my virtual interview with the major corporation. Now the major corporation interview was 45 minutes virtually. It was a good interview. Overall, I felt good after it. I thought I would have got an offer, but I did not. It ended up basically a day or two after the interview, I saw that I was not selected. And I think only because it was a seasonal position. And a lot of my interest was making sure there's growth opportunity, making sure I can get hired on because it is seasonal part-time. And so there, with those things not being a certainty, I knew that there was a chance that I might not get it, or I might have to turn it down just because it's just not going to guarantee me something solid. So had that interview on Tuesday. Then late that day I had the other interview with this other staffing agency, and that one went really good too. I didn't know what to expect when he was presenting the opportunity to me and was asking me about how I feel. He's like, "You're looking for someone with warehouse experience, and you have a ton of that, and starting wage is this, that, and the third." And I'm like, I'm not trying to make it about money anymore. I really want to just find something that I can just grow in again and it works. I can make it work. And I've learned that with just opportunity in itself. Like I was telling my friends yesterday, shout out my friends Lex and Sir. As always, we were talking about just, what we do, our 9 to 5 it doesn't have to be anything we're passionate about. As long as we can turn an opportunity into a really major one for ourselves. And me and Lex were talking about it, me and Lex were talking about her experience with one of the companies that she worked for, that she was coming back to the States, and it was something that she was like, its base rate is like super low, but you can make bonuses on top of that. So she took that low base rate opportunity and turned it into a potential career at the time. She was able to do a lot with that opportunity. And so I'm very familiar with supply chain and logistics and how broad it is and how much opportunities in there. The good thing about this company that was presented to me through the staffing agency is that they're a huge company. They're international. They have local customers. So that makes it even better with the way the world is now with these tariffs and everything, and that uncertainty is like scary right now for a lot of international companies. This one being an international, but the way it's set up, they seem to have local over there. So it all depends. I don't know a ton about the company, but I did do some research on it, and I looked it up to see what would I be stepping into, what is the opportunities that's all there. They have really good benefits. Like 60 days I'll be insured with the staffing company, and in 90 days I'll be hired on permanently with the company, and they have union benefits. So I was like, this is a really good opportunity. Really great opportunity. The other staffing agency that I interviewed with, they weren't offering benefits for like a year. I'm just like, good Lord, how do you not offer it sooner? And then on top of that, when I asked in the interview at the first one on Monday, I was like, how long is it going to take to get hired on? Well, I'm not really sure. That's an HR question, but I'm like, see, that's another thing, like a red flag. If you can't give me like something like a career path or just a path of getting hired on, it really just undervalues the opportunity, because you're just kind of going in blind, not knowing if it's going to take 60 days, 90 days, 30 days, a year, because it all depends on how well they're doing. And then another thing is, they said that they just started really doing better with getting meeting their KPIs and everything. And I was like, yeah, they're young too, a young company. It's only been open since 2010. So it's only 15 years old. They're just starting to really pick up and get structured. They're actually restructuring. And the guy was like, yeah, but there's can be created opportunities, That I was like, I can see that being like a good thing. But at the same time, I'm just like, I kind of want something that's already structured, been around for a while, ain't going nowhere. They have a reputation of good business. I checked Glassdoor on this company for the one that I interviewed with on Tuesday, and the company itself, from the employee perspective, the reviews weren't great, because honestly, working in a union building, it could be hindering for the business, and it puts more stress on like the management and supervisors, because you always got someone that's trying to play the system. I've been in a building where it was union and it was torture. I was a lead. I had to deal with really crazy stuff of just basically being a rat. I had to rat people out. I had to be a snitch. This ain't the first job I had to do that, but in this case, it was just so important because it was on me to make sure things are moving and getting out on time or being received in on time and corrected and all that. And I couldn't afford people just not pulling their weight. So when it came down to it, I would have to be like, yo, you got to go talk to this person. They're still upstairs in the bathroom or whatever, doing whatever. I was like, and then this person's taking forever on the load, and this person's holding on to taking loads off my desk, and it was just crazy dealing with a lot of these headaches. But now, going back into a union building, which I was offered the position after that, and it was the in-person interview with the staffing agency, and then I met with the actual company the following day, that morning, and I saw the job that I'm going to be doing. I'm like, I've done this before. This ain't nothing. This is going to be nothing. And the mentality in a union building, it is by seniority if you're going to be trying to like move up or whatever. But from the looks of it, a lot of people don't like moving up because they don't want to deal with themselves. They don't want to deal with people like them. So they tend to stay in the position that they're in and, you know, come to work to do what they want to do their job, which by all means, I respect it now. I totally respect that. Come in, do your job, go home, you know, just don't F off on the job. That's it. So, like, that's what I kind of expect. And I've already been kind of put on to, like, certain people in the interview that kind of, like, play the system or whatever. But the interview went good. I got the offer right after the interview. They wanted to move forward with me. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. This is a good opportunity. And not to mention, it's 15 minutes from my crib. 5 miles away from me. And my three major things, it meets all three of my big items that I really wanted to check off on my next opportunity. So, close to home, check. Growth opportunities, check. And then, what was the third one? I always forget the third one. It wasn't pay, it was health insurance. So the insurance would be within 60 days, and then 90 days I'll be hired on. So it'll take up to 3 months to get one as a permanent employee, but with the staffing agency, they offer within 60 days health insurance. So I'll be able to get health insurance for at least 30 days before I get hired on permanent, and then get union benefits. From what I heard, they're really good. And even in the reviews on Glassdoor, they said the pay is good and the benefits are good. I mean, you can't ask for much in a blue collar position. Like, they're paying you good and you're getting good benefits. There's really no problems. And there's an opportunity for overtime, which I really wanted to have that opportunity because I don't want to be limited to what I can and can't make. That's what happened in my last job, because there was like such a hard line that having to stop at 3:30 and make sure that I don't stay later than I have to. I can't clock in too early. Didn't work on weekends I did 1 or 2 weekends once, and then they had to cut me off because the company's small. So it's understandable. Now that I understand like how big and small companies work when it comes to overtime, it makes sense. So that's why I was like, sticking this company that I'm going to work at comes with a lot of great things. All of the things that I was looking for. And the pay, yes, it's a pay cut, but I won't stay down because of how motivated I am to get back up and get out off the floor and get more into leadership. But there's a really good opportunity on the floor too. So I'm excited to see what happens, and I will definitely keep y'all abreast. So moving right along, another highlight this week was that I was able to get the medicine I needed, not my treatment, but I was able to get some medicine to actually help with my condition right now, because I've been experiencing some inflammation, and the medicine that they were able to give me, which I requested, I don't know if it's called a prednisone. It's for inflammatory issues. So like if there's any inflammation in your body, whether your lungs, your bowels, whatever, they usually use prednisone to help with inflammation. Only thing is, the way my energy is right now while I'm on this video right now, it like makes me feel like that's probably why I'm feeling good too, on top of everything else that's been good. But yeah, it's been helping, and it's giving me that energy. Like, I've been killing it with my goals, as far as my fitness goals. I've been crushing that shit all week. Yesterday I was able to get a coupon for my birthday from this local car wash around me, and so I was like, I'm so happy that I was able to get that, because my car really needed a car wash. Like, I used to have a membership subscription for, I can go whenever I want to go wash my car. I would do it like once a week. And so it got to a point where, after I lost my job back in 2023, I wasn't able to afford that anymore. So I had to cut that off. And then my car barely got washed since then. I might have washed it once or twice last year. But it's definitely been over a year since I washed it. But I was able to do that yesterday. It looked so good. I had air freshener in my car that I didn't even realize I had. I was so happy. I was like, yes. I cleaned my leather. I vacuumed my floors. I cleaned the console, the interior real nice, the trunk. I went in on that car because it needed it so badly. And I don't know, I knew with this new opportunity, I just kind of wanted to go into with a fresh start all around. Like, I'm even cleaning up around my crib. I've been trying to keep up with the cleaning in my house, but it kind of got a little overwhelming because of my cats, and then there's just so much to do on your own. And I don't like collecting a lot of stuff to have around my house, but I do have a lot of surfaces that I would have to like dust or clean up. So that takes time. And then vacuuming, I only got 2 rugs. I got my bedroom and I got my living room rug, area rug. And it just takes time to have to do all of that. So yeah. But I'm going to get it done between today and tomorrow, since it's the holiday tomorrow. And I don't plan on going nowhere. I'm just going to rest up for Tuesday. Get this money, get back on track. So with all that said, adversity is coming to an end very soon. I am so excited. I am so grateful for the fact my adversity will be ending very soon, and we are going to start to talk about everything on the other side of adversity. And that was my goal of this whole series, of just tracking my struggles that started back in July. I'm coming up on a year soon. In another 2 months or so, I'll be hitting a year with Humble Good Times. And I haven't come up with a new name for the new series, the other side of adversity. So we'll see. But just to know, like, the light is right on my face. You see it? It's right there. It's hitting me right here. I actually have my mirror with light on the back of my camera, so I'm just kind of like making sure I got the right light right now, because it's pretty gray outside. But yeah, so end of this adversity is coming very soon. I'm so excited. I'm very close to finishing my script. I gotta finish the first draft by my birthday. That is my goal this week. I'm right there at the end of this first draft. The second part I have already set up to where the rest of the year I have it scheduled out to when I want to be completed with it all, because I have to create things within the story that gotta bring it to life. So it's going to take time, but I'm really not rushing the process. I just want to at least hold myself accountable and hit goals that keep it moving, keep it growing, and complete it. I was talking to my friend the other day about it, and I was just telling her, like, I got all these things at my grasp. I have a heat press, a 5-in-1 heat press. I have my button maker. I have a sewing machine. I have access to music equipment, studio, a film production studio, podcast equipment. I have so much at my grasp. I have a business plan for a non-emergency medical transportation business that I want to do, and I'm not using I'm not capitalizing on any of it, because I get overwhelmed with just knowing it's all on me. And that's been my struggle. So me and my friend were talking, and shout out to you, Aiken. And she was like, just write everything down, outline it, and send it to me, and we'll see what we can do. I was like, cool. And honestly, what I need is someone like that, just to be able to, like, give me direction. Let me check in with you. Let's check in. Let's set up a time to check in. What I can check off when we meet up, and go back to the plan and keep executing the plan. And so she's been, like, having the same feeling of just, she's such a talented writer, and she's just a very wise person. She lived a lot of experience, and she's definitely my sounding board for when I need to know if I'm in the wrong, or if I just need guidance. So she's definitely my oracle. But yeah, so I'm gonna be working on a lot of stuff, but I'm not gonna do it to where it's gonna be working backwards or working against. I'm gonna find a way to just give attention to everything I want to do, and just really finish stuff little by little. But right now, my script is, like, really important to me, because it's a story that I just want to really tell, and I don't know how soon it'll be brought to life on the screen, and that's going to take time. I'm gonna have to find producer, just staff, a crew. I'm gonna have to find a crew of people. Luckily, I do know someone that does films and web series and stuff, so I got my work cut out for me, for sure. So coming up in June, I'm going to start doing content every day of June. And honestly, with my birthday being less than a week away. um, I want to do 40 days, the first 40 days of my 40th year, and just kind of document it. I don't know. I want to do between video and journaling, but I definitely want to just document it in a way where it's just like me at age 40. At one time, I don't know if this was actually going to happen for me, and that's what like excites me about turning 40. At first it was scary because, a whole new decade. I'm starting over, like, completely, like, not completely, but with a new job, and I'm working my way back up to a place of leadership that I want to get back into. And just knowing that it was at first, like, it was killing my ego. Like, I was having these feelings of just, I gotta go through this ego death. And I was glad that I did, because honestly, I asked for this opportunity. This is the opportunity that I asked for, and God delivered, and it's right on time. So I just want y'all to know, God is good all the time. He's on time all the time. It's been nearly 6 months of me being out of work because of my wrist. As you can see, that's where the surgery was. And if I would have been able to chill those 6 months, I probably wouldn't be as excited as I am right now. But I went through a lot of uncertainty. I went through 2 emergency surgeries back to back between my mouth and my wrist. I had many days where I was crying, watching the news. This new administration just putting so much worry and concern in the hearts and minds of the American people, especially us in the LGBTQ. I would call my dad and my sister and my mom, and I would just express my concerns of just my uncertainty. But the sermon today at church really just hit home for me about everything I just said, because the pastor was he was the old pastor that was preaching today, and he was filling in for our lead pastor. And he was talking about how he thought his life was meant to be lived comfortably, and that produces the joy and everything. But it's really just everything that I just said that makes life that much better. And I gotta say, he's right, because I'm over here just gleeing over opportunity to work. I'm gleeing, like I'm full of glee. And it was a hard 6 months, man. It was a hard 6 months of just not giving up on myself, not giving up on God, not offing myself. I mean, I'm not a suicidal person, but anyone can be suicidal when they don't know what's going to happen. I remember being sent home back in December, and they're telling me I can't come back until the doctor releases me. I'm thinking, once the doctor says I can start lifting with his hand, I thought I was in the clear. Well, that wasn't good enough. And so once I realized that wasn't good enough, I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. And I told my sister that many of times. I'm like, I'm just so nervous about, I don't know what's going to happen. And yet here I am. My family has been such an instrumental part of my survival that I can't thank them enough. They're still helping me until next week, and I'm just so freaking thankful, and just know God has y'all, man. I can't express that enough. God will never let you down. Jesus will never let you down. Just trust, connect, believe. You'll be straight. Like, I've been reading the Bible lately because I took a break from the 365 Bible that I was reading. Like, they have a daily entry where it's like pieces of different books that they compile into a year. And the way that Jesus spoke, he just was so convicted, and the way he spoke, it's like I was just always like smiling at his audacity, his conviction, and it just excites me. I'm like, I want to be like that. I want to speak with so much conviction and so much certainty. And that's how I feel right now, that I've seen now how everything's playing out. It was worth it. It was worth it. It wasn't easy. It wasn't meant to be easy, but God delivered. And I'm forever changed. Truly, I'm forever changed, because I will always look back on this time. Even before, like, when I was laid off, that was nothing compared to what I just went through these 6 months. I wasn't off for 6 months. It was like more like 4 months I was off back in 2023. But I had a severance. I started to work a little bit, and then I ended up quitting this job because it was too dangerous. It felt very unsafe for me. So I was like, no, I ain't doing this. And then I just applied. I enrolled in a school. I was working 2 jobs back in 2020, end of 2023, and that's when I found the last job that I was in. And yeah, it was good for a while, because I really honestly, I liked working at Domino's doing pizza deliveries. That shit was nothing. What I didn't like was people not tipping. That was hard to get used to. But then once you understand you're getting paid by the hour, you're not going to always get great tips, but there's always going to be someone that over tips you because they just appreciate, how quick you were or whatever, or they're just a giving person. And so I had to kind of like switch my mind frame up, just knowing like, I'm working, I'm going to make money, I'm going to have some cash. It's all good. I'm making a check regardless, and I'm still getting cash tips on top of that. So it was all good. But yeah, I liked working that job, and I wish I could do more delivery type side work. But my car is like right now working great, and now it's cleaned up, and I want to keep it that way. And a blessing. When I check my codes to see if I still have that code showing up that I thought I would have to replace my catalytic converter, I had 0 codes show up on my code reader. So what I gotta do is, by next week, is get my emissions done and get my registration renewed. That's what's coming up for me. But I gotta say, talked a lot. It's the steroids, so excuse me. I'm thirsty right now. I need some water. But this has been a humble good time. I am Eden the Hero. Peace.